15 psychological facts that will blow your mind. The field of psychology looks at the science of the mind and behavior. Studies trying to understand why we are the way we are have been going on for decades and will continue into the future. We're learning more and more each day, but there's still so much we don't know. Some study findings are more fascinating than others. Did you know that punctuating in your text messages makes you come across as insincere? Strap yourself in. You're in for a wild psychological ride. The following psychology facts could just explain or confirm some of the things you see in yourself or others. Number 1. It takes 5 positive things to outweigh a single negative thing. You might have heard the advice to start and end your day by thinking about a few things you're grateful for. This helps keep us balanced because we have what's called a negativity bias, which makes us focus on the bad stuff instead of the good. It's useless to ruminate on the negative things that bring you down. Shoot for a ratio of 5 good things to 1 bad in your life. You just might manifest something wonderful. Number 2. A small change that made all the difference, speaking of technology. Did you know that Apple co-founder Steve Jobs was known for his unique attire? He was famous for wearing a black turtleneck, blue jeans, and New Balance sneakers. This simple and consistent outfit choice became his trademark, showcasing his focus on innovation rather than fashion trends. Number 3. You can't actually multitask. Contrary to popular beliefs, you can't actually do more than one task at a time. While it may be possible for you to easily switch between tasks, you can't really multitask. In fact, except for some things that require minimal physical effort, like walking while talking, the mind has been hardwired in such a way that it only fully concentrates on one task at a time. Number 4. McDonald's introduced its drive-through service due to the military. The first McDonald's drive-through was installed in a restaurant based in Sierra Vista, Arizona, located near the Fort Huachuca military installation. Military rules forbade the soldiers from wearing their military uniforms in public. So restaurant manager David Rich came up with a solution: cut a hole into the wall and allow members of the military to pick up their orders. Number 5. Food tastes better when someone else makes it. Ever wonder why food always tastes better when mom makes it? In fact, food tastes better whenever anyone else makes it, assuming they're a decent chef. Researchers attribute this to the fact that when you're preparing a meal for yourself, by the time you're ready to eat, it's been so long that it's less exciting, and as a result, you enjoy it less. Number 6. Let's go back in time a little further and explore an interesting historical figure. Christopher Columbus, the famous explorer, believed until his death that he had reached Asia during his voyage to the Americas. Despite evidence to the contrary, he clung to this belief, which lends an intriguing aspect to his legacy. Number 7. You're more likely to blame people than the situation. When something undesirable happens, people tend to put the blame on someone, instead of the circumstance they find themselves in. For instance, if you're late for a meeting or an appointment, you're more likely to blame the taxi driver than the construction that resulted in traffic on the way. Since the human mind works this way, it's important that you remember this and take it into consideration when you encounter situations like this. Number 8. Alfred Hitchcock was frightened of eggs. Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense, explained to an interviewer in 1963, "I'm frightened of eggs worse than frightened. They revolt me, that white round thing without any holes, and when you break it inside, there's that yellow thing round without any holes. Blood is jolly red, but egg yolk is yellow. Revolting, I've never tasted it." Number 9. We'd rather know that something bad is coming than not know what to expect. Have you ever felt a drop in your stomach when someone says, "We need to talk"? Your mind is immediately flooded with a million different bad things it could be about. If it's a romantic partner, you'd probably rather they just break up with you then and there. If it's your boss, you'd rather they just fire you on the spot. Researchers have found that we prefer knowing something bad is going to happen over uncertainty. This is because when our brain doesn't know what to expect, it goes into overdrive trying to predict any possible consequences, both good and bad. Number 10. Moving on to the natural world. Have you ever wondered why flamingos are pink? Well, it turns out that their vibrant hue is all due to their diet. Flamingos feast on crustaceans like shrimp and algae, which contain a natural pigment called astaxanthin. This pigment turns the flamingo's feathers pink, creating their iconic and eye-catching appearance. Number 11. Synchronous activity bonds. Your group. A group that does things together will always have a closer bond. As a matter of fact, research shows that people who have fun together, laugh together, and participate in several activities together are always ready to take steps and make sacrifices for one another, even if some of the members don't like each other. Number 12. Pigs don't sweat. If someone tells you they're sweating like a pig, you might want to point out to them, if you're that sort of person, that if they were being biologically accurate, that would mean they were not sweating at all. Swine are born without sweat glands, so when they need to cool off, their only option tends to be to find a cool puddle of mud they can roll around in. Number 13. When one rule seems too strict, we want to break more. In the psychological phenomenon known as reactance, people tend to break more rules when they feel like certain freedoms are being limited in an effort to regain the freedom that they perceive as being taken away. This is best illustrated in teenagers. When grounded, not only might they sneak out, but they may end up engaging in other risky behaviors as a form of reactance. Number 14. Now let's talk about the human body. Did you know that your nose can remember up to 50,000 different scents? Our sense of smell is incredibly powerful and can evoke strong emotions and memories. It's fascinating to think about the intricate workings of our olfactory system and how it contributes to our sensory experiences. Number 15. Your mind wanders more than you think. We're all aware that our minds wander at times, but do you know just how much? For most of us, our minds wander about 30% of the time, and this figure can rise to as high as 70%, depending on the situation we find ourselves in. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, a wandering mind will sometimes miss crucial information, but it can also encourage creativity. In addition, a wandering mind can actually help you keep other important information in mind while doing something else. The human mind really is fascinating. What do you think? Which psychological fact did you find most surprising? Do you know any other facts about human psychology that you would add to this list? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell so when we post a video, you get notified. Thanks for watching.